dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sith Talk. Today we have on the show Jeremy Bloore from the Bloore on Mandalore YouTube channel. How you doing, Jeremy?
Man, I am so good. Thank you so much for having me.
No, of course. So tell us a little bit about your channel and where we can find you at.
Okay, so right now you can find me on YouTube. I'm trying to get onto Spotify. Shorts wise, I've got a TikTok, I've got an Instagram. I'm pretty vocal on my Instagram. I usually do like fan questions and so on. You've put some
Yeah.
awesome questions in there. So that's really right now. I'm trying to figure out this Spotify thing. So that should probably happen within the next couple of weeks, just in case anyone who's watching this wants to find it. Um, but honestly, my channel, like, there's not really much to say with how it started and why it started. I was like, I wanted to start something a bit more creative. What I was doing was, I work long hours. I'm a bartender.
Hmm.
I work long, long hours, and I kind of realized that I wasn't being as creative as I possibly could. And I love Star Wars, so I thought, well, I wonder what I could do. And I kept on just thinking. I was watching Beyond the Dune Sea.
Yeah.
Now, Beyond the Dune Sea has helped me with my whole journey completely. Like, they are the best dudes out there. I will talk about them way too much on this,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I was watching their podcast, and I was just like, I wonder if these guys can actually help me. I tried to get a podcast started, like 3 times, and
Uh-huh.
I couldn't figure out lighting. I couldn't figure out anything. It was just I was a complete mess, and I just thought I'll message Connor and I'll just be like, look, throw it out there. If you can help me, that'd be awesome. If not, then look, it doesn't really matter. And I mean, I wish I could show you our conversations. I probably wouldn't because it's private, but like, he sent me paragraph after paragraph after paragraph of just like everything you need to get started. So much
Yes.
advice, so much help. And I was just like, I have to do this. Not just for me, but I have to do it for them because of how much time they put in to
Yeah.
be able to help me. Man, like, it's just allowed me to have that kind of creative process. And you'll see a lot of my stuff is Beyond the Dune Sea inspired. Like, I'll do
Yes.
the skits at the start, I'll
Yeah.
do everything. Because my whole goal is to get better with camera work,
Uh-huh.
to get better with editing. Editing has been my biggest challenge. It's like a completely foreign language.
Yeah.
And I get to talk about my favorite thing, which is Star Wars. Like, none of all of my friends are so sick of me talking about Star Wars to them. I thought I'll just rant about it for like an hour a week, and then I'll kind of get it out of my system, so my friends don't have to cop it the whole time.
That is awesome. So for you guys watching, I'm gonna put the link to his channel down in the description. Go subscribe now. So the first time I heard about you was when I was watching Beyond the Dune Sea, and he mentioned you, and I was like, let's go see who this guy is. And then I went over, and I think the first episode I watched of yours, the skit at the beginning, you were like interviewing somebody, and it was you interviewing yourself like a prisoner. And I
Yeah.
was like, this is awesome. And then I've been watching since then. So big fan. Love
Oh, I
everything that you're
appreciate it.
doing over there. Yeah. So
Thank
everyone
you.
that yeah, of course. Everyone that comes on, I kind of start off with 3 Star Wars questions to warm them up. You ready?
Shoot, shoot.
So the first one is, what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Look, the easiest answer is Revenge of the Sith, right?
Yeah.
But I'm actually, I mean, that aside, that's just god tier. You
Whew.
can't compare really anything to that and Empire Strikes Back. They're the easiest picks. I would actually say, and this is so controversial, I love Solo.
Really?
Dude, I love Solo. I think it came at the perfect time. I was playing Battlefront 2 and
Uh-huh.
I was a Han main. Like, I love Han, and being able to
Uh-huh.
fight Vader with Han is just like the coolest thing because he has no force abilities or anything. He just has
Yeah,
a bomb
yeah.
and a blaster. But yeah, and I was playing that and I was like, oh, we'll see how it goes. I don't know what it is. I think it was I can't remember the actual main actor's name. Heinrich something. I don't know.
Oh,
It's just
Aaron something right or something. I forgot.
yeah,
Alden
you know
Aaron,
what I
right?
mean.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. and he was just like, I don't know, it was just everything kind of working perfectly at the time that it just worked out to be one of my favorite movies. And I saw so much hate, and I could not understand it. Like, I was obsessed.
Yeah.
I tried to get these little coaxium vials and everything for so long.
Ooh,
Man, I
yeah.
was obsessed. I was obsessed.
Yeah, I enjoyed Solo. The reason it got so much hate was the timing of the release after The Last Jedi. Everybody's all pissed and grumpy, but like
Yeah,
Solo, I went into Solo and I wanted like three things. I wanted to see how Han met Chewie, I wanted to see how Han met Lando, and I wanted to see how Han got the Falcon. And we got all
yeah,
that. Kira is freaking
yep,
badass, and then we got Darth Maul at the end, which that blew my mind because at that time I didn't watch any of the animated stuff, right? So when
yeah,
Maul showed up, I was like, he got cut in half in Phantom Menace. How is he here? I had no
yeah.
idea. So after the movie, I Googled it and I saw that, oh, Dave Filoni brought him back in Clone Wars and he was in Rebels. So I binged all of Clone Wars and Rebels right after seeing Solo. And now I've been
Nice.
hooked to the animated stuff since then.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm honestly, I 100% I'm with you on Han meeting Chewie. That was actually my biggest thing.
Yeah.
And also like I don't know why it was so big. I really wanted to see how Han got his blaster. Like it's so
Mm,
individual, it's so specific to him, and just seeing that
yeah.
it was a throwaway like, oh, I'll just chuck a couple of things together. Like Woody Allen just chucks a couple of things and he's just like, yeah, here you go. And it became one of
Yeah.
the most iconic props in Star
Yeah.
Wars. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, awesome.
That's crazy. That's an awesome choice. Not a lot of people have come on here and said that. I think I might have had maybe one other person say Solo. I think I've heard it once out of like 70 episodes of this podcast. So
Yeah.
that's freaking awesome. Now, the next one is what's your favorite Star Wars show?
Oh man, Mandalorian by far.
Mandalorian.
Like the thing is, Bad Batch is kind of rivaling it with this season 3 right now,
Uh-huh.
but Mando Mando by far is my favorite ever because I mean I've talked about it 1,000 times on my podcast. Like I love when people who don't have that magical force ability, they don't have those superpowers that we
Hmm.
see all of these amazing characters have. When someone who is like a regular guy stands up and he does the right thing and he does
Yeah.
the good thing. And I mean, also, I love cowboys. I grew up on a
Oh
farm.
yeah.
Like, cowboys and just a badass dude in a suit of armor. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, 100%. That's all Din is. He's just a cowboy. I remember being in Chicago Celebration 2019 and getting
yeah,
into the Mando panel and seeing the first 7 minutes of the first episode like 5 months before it came out. And it was the bar scene. I could bring you in warm, I could bring you in cold,
oh,
cut the dude in half. We saw that like 5 months early and it just blew my mind. And I think what drew most people to Mando is like the most people when they look at Mando, they thought Boba Fett. Oh, he's one of Boba Fett's people. So right
yeah,
away we had that connection, and he became his own thing and just as badass. So I love Mando, man. Season 1 and season 2 were amazing. Season 3 had its ups and downs, right? But
yeah. It set up a lot for the next season. I do
yeah,
think I didn't really like the ending. Honestly, the ending wasn't great. It was kind of like, oh wow, wait, there's the Empire on Mandalore, and then oh, it's just gone. Don't worry about it. Like it's all
yeah,
good, and then we'll go in and I'll fight the Empire now. It's like,
yeah.
look,
B-
you had to fall at least one time. Like it's not perfect,
Oh yeah.
but I hope this next season, the next movie's going to be insane,
Season 2 though was pretty damn near perfect, man. That whole season,
dude.
like you start off bringing Boba Fett back from the dead, then you bring in Bo-Katan live action, then Ahsoka freaking
Yes,
Tano, then you name
yes,
drop Grogu's name and let us know Thrawn's still alive, just in
yeah,
case you were wondering. And then you
yeah.
end it off with Luke. That Luke finale. What did you feel when you were watching that finale? Because that was a special episode.
Man, I tell you what, I was sobbing. I was actually sobbing. Like that was the first time, genuinely, actually, that was probably the first time I'd ever been emotional from Star Wars. Like
Yeah.
I just caught myself sobbing because I was like, oh my god, like so much tension of they're stuck. There's like, what are they going to do? Din was struggling for so long to try to take
Yeah.
down one of these dark troopers. What the hell is he going to do with 50 of them or whatever it was that are coming
Yeah.
out that door slamming? And it's like cutting between them and just hearing the bang, bang. And I was like, what, like, what's going to happen? And then
Yeah.
you just see the X-Wing. And I was just like, ah, ah. And I mean, like, blew my mind. Also, the comparison between Luke and Vader in the hallway scenes,
Oh yeah, yeah.
dude. I was just like riding the high of Rogue One's Vader, and then seeing Luke in there, just like, oh, blew my mind. And then
Yeah.
watching Mando take off the helmet off his own will, dude. I was
So
sobbing. Like,
emotional.
Mando gave everything,
Yeah.
everything that he ever believed in from a young boy. I mean, he was adopted by the
Yeah.
Mandalorians. It was the only family that he knew, only life that he knew. He even tried to settle down in the first season with that shrimp farmer, and
Yeah.
he couldn't do it because of his religion, because of what he believed in. And this kid, it meant this kid seeing him for who he is, not just the helmet, meant more to him than his whole life before. And it was just like everything together, just honestly, tears.
Yeah,
Tears.
I was teary-eyed the whole time, but I think I started dropping tears when R2 came in out of nowhere. Cause like I didn't expect R2 and I just lost.
Yes.
I couldn't hold it back anymore. And then
Yeah.
the final shot of seeing Luke Skywalker in the elevator holding Grogu and R2, it just blew my mind. It's like this can't be real life. It was just
Yeah.
I miss moments like that. It's rare when you get moments like that where almost everybody's happy, but it's just such a beautiful thing when it does happen, man. Oh,
100%. Dude.
s-
100%. Yeah. Yeah. That was
so
peak.
yeah. Oh, for sure. And the thing that kind of sucks though is since then, now every finale we get, we kind of like in the back of our minds, like, oh, this finale has to meet that expectation or beat that. And
Yeah.
it's impossible. It's impossible to top Luke unless it's like you bring Mace Windu back from the dead or something like big. It's
Yeah.
like I don't know if we'll ever get a finale topping Luke freaking Skywalker returning as Prime Luke.
Honestly, there's no way possible. And I think it also damaged the third season with COVID in between, like the whole wait. Everyone's sitting at home going, oh my God, Mando season 3 is coming out. You saw what we just had. That
Yeah.
was like the best Star Wars I've ever seen. You're still riding that high for years. I think it was what,
Ye
3 years?
Yeah, it was a big gap. It was a big gap.
Yeah. And then next thing you know, it comes out and everyone's like, oh, it's not exactly what I thought it would be. It's not the level that
Yeah.
it was before. So
Yeah, man.
it's hard. Like, I still loved it, and I mean, you got to see Jack Black. I'm like, I love Jack Black. So if they
Yeah.
bring out a vintage collection Jack Black figurine, I am all there for it. 100%.
Oh, man. That'd be
100%.
hilarious.
Yeah.
So, the last question is, who is your favorite Star Wars character?
Oh, dude, it's Mando.
Din?
It's
Yeah.
Mando. Yeah, it's Mando. That's like, it's so hard for me to choose someone else. Like, I grew up being the biggest Vader fan. Like, in my old house, I had this bunk bed with, I have a twin, right? So he was always up top and I was always down bottom. And I would have on my wall just Vader poster after Vader poster. The old posters that described all of the parts of his armor and so on.
Ooh,
I had
yeah.
photos of James Earl Jones up there being like, this is the voice. I was obsessed. But then I was kind of, and Vader was always going to be up there, and he is up there for me. But it was just at one point where I got off Star Wars like after the sequels kind of came out, and I watched all of them in the movies. It was a lot of fun, but seeing
Yeah.
the hate, seeing the hate of Star Wars, I was like, oh, look, I don't really want to go into a fan base like that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be, I don't want to be a part of that. I'll just enjoy it from a distance.
Mhm.
And then my mate actually forced me to watch Mando. I didn't even know. I got like what
Ooh.
towards the end of the first season being released, and I started watching it, and from then on, it was just like again perfect timing. Like
Yeah.
my mate just goes, he was just like, dude, this is exactly your character. This is exactly your show. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, look, I get it. I get it. I get it. I watched it and it was just like, oh my God, as I said before, cowboy. Like a suit of armor, just a badass, and he's like a big protector. I love it, 100%.
Yeah. And that is like the perfect timing because Mando brought a lot of people back, but like from then on, it was like bangers. Like it was like Mando, we got Clone Wars season 7,
Oh,
Fallen Order, and that story
yeah,
from the game was fire. So
dude,
that was
yeah,
the perfect time to come back in. Yeah, that's awesome.
100%.
So one of the first things I wanted to talk about was your channel. I didn't realize. So your channel is like 2 months old now, right?
Dude, this is my 10th week in. Yeah.
That is crazy because from like the quality of your content, I could have swore you've had it for longer. Like that's wild. And it makes sense that because you said you were getting the tips from Beyond the Dune Sea, because you kind of
That's all
like
them.
remind me of like a singular version of Beyond the Dune Sea, since it's just you, like with the skits and how you break everything down, which is awesome. So like
Thanks, man.
what are you trying to do next with the channel? Like, what's your goal with the channel, and like any other like
Mm.
future plans for it and stuff?
Yeah, look, I've got heaps of stuff in the works. Like I'm centering it around the big thing, which is kind of like the podcast at the end.
Hmm.
It is a bit weird because being a single person on a podcast, it is hard to go for long periods of time and actually talk
Yeah.
about stuff without descripting. And I'd always catch myself descripting. So I've kind of like in the past 2 or 3 episodes, I've changed it up a little bit, and I've done more like talking points. So
Yeah.
I'll do my focus towards the end of the week every Saturday, like 7 p.m. AEST.
Hmm.
Um, I'll do just like my talk show, kind of like podcasty thing.
Yeah.
And I want to do a lot smaller, like a lot of little smaller stuff. Like I want to do figurines. I want to talk about that, like
Nice.
unboxings. I want to do, I mean, more skits. I've actually my favorite part of this whole experience has been making those skits. So
Yeah.
I think I want to do a lot of stuff when it comes to smaller wave. I also want to, in the end, make my own Star Wars movie. Like,
Ooh.
yeah. I've got a bit of a plan right now.
Uh-huh.
I released it a little bit, like I've talked about it quite a bit, but I want to do like a really dark, like a super dark Boba Fett on the Knights of
Ooh.
Coruscant. Yeah, and like not a full feature length film. I want to do
Yeah.
a bit of a short film, but yeah, just like a dark, like a guts ripping out, like
Yeah.
badass Boba Fett that everyone wanted to see after the original trilogy.
That sounds awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, man.
And your skits, it's so cool because, like, since you're in Australia, you have that wilderness and beautiful outdoor to record all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
your background and scenery, it's like, damn, man, like, this guy has the freaking jungle there. It looks awesome for your skits and stuff. That's so cool.
Thanks, man. That's actually like I'm in the perfect spot right now. So I'm in a suburb called Lane Cove.
Uh
Not
huh.
all of Australia is like that. Not all of Sydney's like that. It's actually super densely populated
Okay.
around little hubs.
Uh huh.
But I'm kind of towards the outskirt there, and I'm just backing on this huge national park. Like I am so lucky. I didn't even know about it until when I started my podcast. I actually got a new roommate
Uh huh.
for my share house, and my roommate was like, "Oh, you want to go for a walk?" And we walked past this little reserve, and he goes, "Oh yeah, by the way, down there is like a massive national park." I've been here for
Wow.
a year. I didn't even know about it. And I just went for a walk and I was like, oh my God, it was like everywhere I looked, I could see little bits of like skits that I could do or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Jedi training. For me, it felt like Dagobah, and it was
Yeah.
so wild because it's all around me, surrounded by buses and trains and like trucks everywhere. And you just go there, you go into this national park and it's like nothing exists around you.
That is
Yeah.
so awesome.
Yeah.
Now, have you experienced, because like I feel like every time I see like clips or videos of Australia, it's always wild animals everywhere, like terrifying giant spiders and like kangaroos that are like jacked wanting to punch you and stuff. Have you ran into like any crazy animals while you're out there like recording and stuff?
Look, I was attacked by a lizard.
What?
Yeah, I was actually so I was filming. My most recent video,
Uh-huh.
yeah, last week's one, and I did the one scene where I stepped down and I picked up like a little mound of dirt and I put it in a Ziploc bag and I
Uh-huh.
just put it in my pocket. But what you didn't see was I was right next to this big rock,
Uh-huh.
right? And there was a lizard that was shedding on top of this rock, and it didn't want me there. So I got off, and I had to cut the video short because this thing like jumped at me, and I
Oh,
freaked out, and I just ran. Like, but the thing
wow.
is, like, you don't see kangaroos unless you're an hour and a bit out. Like,
Okay,
I grew
okay.
up on a farm, so I grew up with the kangaroos.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, but you don't see them around Sydney. Snakes, they're really afraid of humans. Like they're more
Okay.
afraid of you than you are of them. So they'll go away when there's a lot of noise. And
Yeah.
being in the city, there's always noise. Like you'll
Yeah.
have little bits of like you'll see a snake kind of going in someone's gutter, but it's not a venomous one. It's a little python. It's probably just
Yeah.
eating rats or something, you know?
What about those giant spiders I always see on like clips and videos? Is that like a real thing out there, like big ass
Dude, yeah.
spiders?
Yeah. Yeah. I ride a motorbike.
Uh-huh.
And I was riding to my girlfriend's place the other day, and I was going on the highway, I was going through all of these tunnels, and because I parked my bike just outside, and I mean I said before I live right next to a national park, there's gonna
Yeah.
be spiders. And I was riding and I could feel something kind of like on my motorbike jacket. It like kind of go, and then I had a pocket open so it went in, and I was like, okay, you know what? If I can't see it, it doesn't exist. So I was just like, and this was another 20 minutes, by the way, like another 20 minutes on the bike. And I was riding along. I was like, I kind of forgot about it. I was listening to music. I was having a good
Yeah.
time. I was having a little boogie. And then I got to my girlfriend's place and I just look, and on my chest is this huntsman, probably like that big,
Oh my God.
like that big. And it was just sitting on there. And I was like, oh, and I just kind of like brushed it off,
Yeah.
went onto my arm, and just went, and I was just like, nah, get out of here. Nah, I couldn't get out so quick.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
that was probably
is
chilling in my bike somewhere, but
that is
yeah,
terrifying, man. That's crazy.
yeah,
So you've been living in Australia your whole life, right?
whole life, man, whole life. I haven't been living in Sydney. Like
Uh-huh.
I am Sydney based. I haven't been living in Sydney my whole life. I came here for like boarding school
Mhm.
when I was probably 11 or 12, and I just stayed ever since.
Have you ever like left? Have you ever been like to the States or anything like that or no?
Dude, I can't wait to go to the States. I can't wait. I haven't been.
Ooh.
I haven't
Uh-huh.
been. My uncle actually lives in Chicago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he lives in
Nice.
Chicago. I was planning on possibly seeing him, but I want to go to the big conventions there. We don't have that here,
That's
you
what I
know?
was gonna get to next because I know there's not a lot in Australia. I know my friend Hannah at the race side, she's in Australia. I
Yeah.
think there's like maybe one or two conventions out there. Like, doesn't Sydney have like a Sydney Comic Con every year or something like that?
Yeah, they do, but I mean, and it's awesome. It is
Yeah,
really cool, but it's just nowhere near the caliber. Like the thing is, Australia is so hard to get to
yeah,
for so many people, and especially actors who are doing so many projects in America. They're not going to
yeah,
fly out to Australia just to do like a week-long show,
yeah,
unless the
yeah.
money's really worth it. Like it's just not as common. Also, the collectibles aren't there. Like not a lot of people
Ooh,
collect the same way as they do in America. Like the
yeah.
sheer access to like the figurines and everything. Like I see all of your stuff when it comes to the Walmart picking up all of these discounted things, and I'm like, oh god, like I
Yeah.
try all the time. My local is JB Hi-Fi,
Uh-huh.
and the race side would know about this. It's so hard to find things for a discounted price
Oh,
unless it's like really they don't want it. Like let's be real, like a Lando. Like no one really
yeah,
wants
yeah.
like. There's a lot of Landos, there's a lot of Reavers, but not really anything else.
That is crazy. So is there any like convention in particular that you want to try to come to in the States with like this year or next year?
I mean, look, I know the big one, Comic Con. I'd love to go to the Star Wars celebration. Like I see all of your stuff there, and my girlfriend and I are potentially planning a trip to go there for the Star Wars celebration in
Next
Japan.
year? Ooh,
Yeah,
yes. So
yeah,
the tickets go on sale next week. So if you're thinking about going, like, you gotta buy the tickets that day.
yeah.
They're gonna be gone right away.
I plan
But
on buying it and then figuring it out later if I'm
yeah,
going to be doing it.
100% because you have like a full year, man. If like your first big convention is Celebration and in Japan, you are gonna lose your mind.
Yeah,
Celebration, like my first Star Wars Celebration was 2017 in Orlando, and after going to it, I haven't missed since then. It's like this. It's a place where everyone is like us. Everybody loves Star Wars. Everybody's happy. Everyone's positive. It's such a unique energy and vibe that is unmatched, and I've never felt it anywhere else in my life. And it's felt the same way at all four that I've been to. I did Orlando 2017, Chicago 2019, Anaheim 2022, and then London
nice.
2023. Every single one felt the same. It was amazing. So, bro, once you go, man, you're not gonna want to miss Celebration again, man.
I know. I honestly, like, I am so ready to dump like way too much money into
Oh
actually
yeah,
experiencing it. Like, I just want, I can't wait to have that Star Wars experience where everyone around you just
everybody.
understands your love. Like, you don't really get that anywhere else other than those kind of fan areas. Now, like, only time I really see it is when I talk to there's a cashier at my local like JB Hi-Fi,
Uh
and
huh.
we'll talk about Star Wars for ages. Or I go to EB Games,
Yeah.
and I'll talk to them about Star Wars for ages. But that's really all I've been getting. Like other than this podcast, nowhere else is able. Well, am I able to actually see
Yeah.
this kind of stuff and do this stuff?
No, at Celebration, literally everybody there. So you'll be in like there's a lot of long lines, but it's cool because you're literally just talking to everybody in line about everything Star Wars. And then there's like
Yeah,
the exhibit floor with like a bunch of booths and vendors with people selling stuff. You got the panels, you got autographs, you got photo ops. Like it's just so I cannot freaking wait, man. It's just so good. It's just so
yeah.
good.
100%,
Oh,
dude. I'm so keen. Like genuinely, I mean, my girlfriend knows that this is like a big deal. She's not
yeah.
really the biggest Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
She's watching it. She's watching it, but she knows she'll happily experience everything like that with me. And I hope that maybe I can even get a video out of that as well.
Oh, you'll get a ton of videos out of it, man. Literally,
Yeah.
like I was making a list of videos I want to record while in Japan because I'm planning on being there like 12 days potentially. And I have a list of
Nice.
like 35 videos over the whole trip that I plan on doing while out there, which is crazy. But at the show itself, like you could do like day one vlogs, you could do like tours of certain booths, you could do there's so much you could do. Cosplay, the cosplay at Celebration is just insane. So you'll get
Yeah.
a ton of really, really cool, unique videos out of it, like for sure. 100%.
Yeah, I love the cosplay side. Like I want to at one point do a video where I create my own Mando helmet. Like I want to 3D
Nice.
print it, I want to sand it down, paint it, do everything to kind of get my own helmet and maybe even potentially bring that over there, which would be
Yeah.
so cool.
No, that'd be awesome. And Australia, that flight from you to Japan isn't that bad, right?
Not long at all. Not long at all.
See,
Actually, everyone in Australia is going to Japan right now. Like it's wild. That's one of the biggest spots that we as Australians go to.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So for me, because I'm in Florida, bro, the flight from Florida to Tokyo is like 18 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna
That's
be
wild.
rough. It's wild. It like so the one that I was looking at, like it leaves Friday morning at like 8 or 9 a.m. And then I land in Tokyo on Saturday and it's 4 in the afternoon. It's like time travel. It's so weird and crazy how that works.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And like, honestly, like that's pretty much Australia getting anywhere else. Like if
yeah.
I want to go to Europe, if I want to go to America, that is so far. So I'm really lucky that Japan is so close.
No, yeah, you are for sure. That'd be cool, man, if you get to go and then get to meet up in person, man. That'd
100%,
be
dude.
so awesome.
Yeah, that'd be
Yes.
really cool.
Now next thing we're gonna get into the freaking Bad Batch. So I know you've been enjoying the season like crazy. So have I. Season 3, hands down, blows 1 and 2 out of the water to me.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it's not even close. But last episode was, what was it called? Flash Strike, right?
yeah.
The
Flash
one
strike.
this morning.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the episode?
Like, blew my mind. Blew my mind. It was just, I love that they went straight into it. That's
Yeah,
first of all. Like, I didn't want it to be, oh, well, we're on the ship and we're waiting and, oh, I guess we could do this and this and this. No, it was like, bang, we're in hyperspace. Oh, shit, we need to get out of here.
yeah,
Detach, go straight down. Hunter, by the way, is becoming my favorite clone ever. But purely
yeah,
because of how much he is on a mission. Like
yeah.
I just filmed my description for my podcast last night.
Uh-huh.
And honestly, like I said it there, like I saw this thing from Mortis FM and I love Mortis FM. They are so cool.
Yes.
They've been so helpful, so
Yes.
awesome. And they said they posted this video and it was a little reel as well, where they talked about how Hunter was going in and
Yeah.
just trusting Echo anyway. But
Yep.
I put a little extra on that one, which is it wasn't trust in Echo. It was Hunter saying, I'm not losing Omega again. It doesn't matter if he was going to lose his life or the batch were going to lose their lives.
Yeah.
They are getting to Omega no matter what, and they are getting her out of here. I think it was just that blind ambition of we're going to do this and we're going to succeed. I'll figure it out on the way. And he followed that up in this next episode.
Oh, he
Like
did. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. And when he's turning the ship, like when he turns the ship off, turns it around, and just and then turns it right, and
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, like he is seriously so cool. But I mean, how many things could we talk about? Like 50 million. Like that episode was just jam packed. I
It
don't think it
was.
was long enough. I
No,
really don't think it was
not at
long enough.
all. Uh-uh.
But at least they filled it with a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
enjoyed the episode. Like, for an episode by itself, it was awesome. Like, that dogfight in the beginning was badass. Echo getting into the stormtrooper armor, getting the hand and sneaking around the base was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Omega creeping around, and I was so hyped when she saw the Zillow beast. I knew that SOB was there. I knew it was there, but
Yeah.
I wanted that confirmation. And I love the
Yeah.
fact that she said, "Oh, I have a plan. I have a plan." Now, after seeing that, so something in the finale is gonna be her getting that thing loose, riding that thing. I don't know, but something crazy is gonna happen with the Zillow beast. I am
100%.
all for it. And I loved when Echo was in there trying to find out where Omega was, and Anne-Marie saw him, and she was like, "You're Echo, aren't you?" I was like, "Oh." And you could
Dude.
kind of see she's
Yeah.
gonna like turn and help. But there was a lot of really, really good moments in there for sure. But my only gripe is like
Mhm.
there's so much left that I want answered, but there's no way everything's gonna get resolved in the finale. Cause like, where's Rex at? Is he coming back? When's
Yeah.
Wolf gonna turn and come back? CX2, Winter Soldier, who the hell are you? Is that gonna get resolved?
Yeah.
Is Asajj gonna pop up again and like maybe help get these kids and start the path with Quinlan? There's like so many little things, and I just don't know what to expect out of the finale. And I saw something today. I don't know if it's true, but the rumor is the finale might only be 25 minutes.
Like honestly, I was talking about it last night when I was filming. Like I need this to be like the first episode of the first season. Like
Yeah,
give us an hour 15, hour and a half, like whatever. Just
I know.
please.
I
Unless it's
know.
going to be another show. Like I do have a bit of a theory of yeah, this is going to end kind of like a nothing. Say goodbye to the batch, and then we'll
Yep.
continue it with other shows. Like they've shown that animation is clearly going to be the path they're going down.
Yep.
Like, will we see more shows that will explain it? Honestly, I just kind of want everything to be resolved in Bad Batch and then
It'd be
span it
nice.
across.
Yeah.
But like with that episode, I saw a couple of really interesting things, and there was a guy called Generation Tech.
Uh-huh.
He is a YouTuber. He does the coolest content, and I was looking at some of the stuff that he was doing, and he put up a Zillow Beast video. Now he
Hmm.
put up a Zillow Beast video a couple of, I think it was like a couple of days before the actual thing came out,
Yeah.
and he was bang on with everything that happened, like bang on. I always thought, I always thought that they were going to have the Zillow Beast, but
Yeah.
I thought it was because they were going to use its armor as an armor for someone of like the Sith
Yeah.
or maybe even Palpatine as like a protective casing.
Yeah.
Who knows? But seeing all that kind of stuff, I just think I don't know, man. I need so much answered.
I
I think
know.
we're going to get a lot when it comes to finalizing characters. Like personally, I think Echo's dead. Like
Ah, I
I
don't
think
want him to die.
dude, I don't either. But if you think about it, right, all of the clones work together to save him. He's gonna repay the favor by saving them from Mount Tantiss, and I think that's the case because he got rid of his armor, his whole personality. Like
Oh.
he yes, he did the cool Luke and Han special,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, he
But
did.
I think it was a little more than that. It was a little more than just a callback. It was this guy's lost his identity. Now you see him because of his face, and obviously his head's got the
Yeah.
little spikes and stuff in it. But like he's gone. I think we're going to see the end of Echo. I personally think that Echo and Dr. Carr, like Emery, I think
Yeah.
they're going to sacrifice themselves together, mainly
Uh-huh.
because he kind of lumped her in with that guilt when he was just like, "Hey, like, look what you did to the clone.
Yeah.
Come on, like, how can you call yourself a clone when you do these kind of experiments?" And she's like, "Look, I'm just doing my job." It's like, I've heard that
I had that
before.
before. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
ooh. That was
yeah.
that was tough. Do you think Hemlock and Rampart are both gonna survive?
Look, the first thing that I want to say about Hemlock is he is a genius. I think he's got measures to be able to get himself out there.
Mm.
Um, But if anyone's going to die, I think it's only Hemlock. I don't think Rampart's going to die. I think Rampart's actually going to have a little bit of a kind of character arc. I
Yeah?
don't think he's going to give up the batch. Now, obviously, that's the first fear. Oh, Rampart's been captured. Oh, he was an imperial, like a vice admiral in the Empire
Yeah.
beforehand. He literally took down Camino. Like,
Yeah.
come on, he's a bad person, but you kind of see him with that interaction with Crosshair, and he goes, "Look, you're like me. You only care
Yeah.
about yourself." And he's like, "I've
Yeah.
changed. Like, I've changed." And he's just like, "No, no, no, no. Listen,
Yeah.
I think that the Crosshair is actually Crosshair's doing more than just helping Omega with her character development. I think he's
Mhm.
also helping other Imperial people to change to be better people."
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. So what was I gonna say? So earlier, damn, I just had it. What was I about to say? It was something about so if the finale is 25 minutes. Like that's kind of concerning. But then earlier on Dark Side Secrets, and me and Will were talking about it and comparing it to the length of other finales. And Clone Wars season 7, that last episode, its runtime was 23 minutes. So without credits, that's like 20 minutes. And that ended beautifully. So there is precedence where if it is short, if it's done right, it could give us
Yeah,
closure because Clone Wars season 7, that final episode, and it had a time jump at the end as well. It
yeah,
worked out. So it's possible it could be good, but like they already shorted us an episode this season with 15 instead of 16. Like the least they could have did was give us a 45, 50-minute minimum finale. So
yeah.
I guess we'll see next week. I'm excited, but I don't know what to expect. I don't know, like, is everyone gonna die or people gonna survive? Like, I just don't know what to think anymore.
Yeah, look, I'm a massive fan of Beyond the Dune Sea, and they've talked about a lot of the whole batch dying. I'm definitely in that book right now, like that kind of
Yeah.
group. But I just don't know how it's going to pan out with them dying in this season. I think they've leveled up too much. They've leveled up way too much. I think we're going to see some characters die, like Echo's going to die. I think Hunter could potentially die. Like I think
Yeah.
Hunter might actually see his end, mainly because they're doing the exact same thing to Hunter that they did to Tech
Tech.
in the
Yeah.
previous season. Like they build
Yeah.
him up, they build up like he's a badass, he's smashing all this kind of stuff, like he's really killing the
Yeah.
game, he's leading everyone and showing them exactly what they need to do, and then boom, he's gone. And I think Omega might actually replace Hunter because you're kind of seeing her build her own little squad right now
Yeah.
with the Force
She
sensitive.
is.
Like if all of them die, I don't know. I do know though that Crosshair will make it out.
Mm-hmm.
Crosshair
Yeah.
100% will make it out, and Omega will make it out. If it's just the two of them, I don't know. But Wrecker seems to be getting wrecked every single time. Like
I
you,
know.
like he's got that beat going like
Yeah.
full on Padme style, right down there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. I don't know how it's going to go, but I do know that some of our favorite characters that they've built up are going to survive, like Crosshair and Omega.
Uh-huh.
But Hunter's gone. Hunter's gone. Echo's gone.
What if Omega sacrifices herself to save the kids? And like, what if she realizes that, oh, the Empire is going to be hunting me for the rest of my life because they need my blood? This is the only way to save the future. What if she like sacrifices herself for that?
So we're at like kind of a fork in the road, right? We can either go down two paths of one, the batch dying, pretty much all of them, or
Yeah.
Omega being the sole sacrifice.
Yeah.
I 100% I love that theory. I love that Omega will self-sacrifice to be like, you know what? Like Seth is kind of he always makes the joke of I'm all the batch, you know?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
he
Yes.
does it's so good. But it could actually be like that. Like you never know. She actually I mean, look, I think that she is Rey's mum. Be that they've already collected her DNA and her blood and created Palpatine's clone son.
Uh-huh.
But I do think that she's either going to be the only one to go or the batch are going to be the only ones to go.
Yeah, I think she's gonna survive. I think like the batch will sacrifice themselves, and Omega will maybe barely get out with the four younglings. And then it would be cool if you see like a ship come in, and you see like Quinlan's dreads fly in the wind. Asajj comes
Yeah.
out. They take the kids, and like that's the true beginning of the path. Because we know in
Oh, yeah.
Kenobi, the path Quinlan is running Jedi's Force sensitives through this hidden path. How cool would that be if Omega was like the start of it? That'd be really interesting. And the voice actor for Asajj said we're getting more Asajj, and we all kind of assumed she would be in Tales of the Jedi season 2, but she's not in Tales. So where else are we getting Asajj next?
Look, it could be that Sarge gets her own show. But what I think would be so cool, obviously, Quinlan and Asajj coming in would be such an awesome way to be like, guys, this is the origins of the next wave of Star Wars.
Yeah.
But if we could add in Cal Kestis, right?
Yes.
If
Yes,
we could add in Cal Kestis, bringing the kids to Tanalorr,
bro.
like, wouldn't that be so cool? So we can actually see Cal kind of start his own Jedi Academy on this place that no one can get to.
Yo, literally, Will said that same thing earlier today on Dark Side Secrets. I don't know if you were
Oh,
secretly
really?
watching, but no, he was like, how cool would it be if in the third game, Quinlan and Asajj were there? And like the path, it's a path, it has to lead somewhere, right? What if this path is leading them eventually to a safe haven, which is Tanalorr now because of the game? So, like, that would be so dope if they were smart and interconnected that story from the game with this. It just would be so beautiful. Hopefully, we
Oh,
get
yeah.
something cool like that. Another reason I love it is because I would love to see, because Cal is with Marin, so he's a Jedi. She's a nice
Yeah.
sister. Quinlan's a Jedi. with Asajj, it's a nice sister. It's like they're like two of the same, so it'd be kind of cool just to see them interact and stuff. But
100%.
that'd be awesome, man. I guess we'll see where it goes, but we got literally less than a week to find out
Oh
and
man,
see.
I'm so excited. I just think like if you continue down that path and you get to see like introduce Cal, it will actually allow. I mean, one of the hardest problems that we'll have is the original trilogy was made so long ago without any of this in mind. We don't know
Yeah.
what our characters now are doing at that period.
Mm,
Like, what's going on? Well, we've got a secret planet that no one can get to. It's a pretty easy way
yeah.
for them to kind of be like, hey, look, that's the scapegoat. That's how
Yeah.
we've been kind of hiding everyone, and kind of building it around. I don't think we give them enough credit. They're pretty smart when it comes to that kind of stuff. It just
Yeah.
depends if EA is really going to allow a lot of that to happen.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, they gotta work hand in hand because, like, the Kenobi show, bro, half of that was like Fallen Order levels. Like, Fortress Inquisitori was from the
Yep.
game. The way
Yeah.
Kenobi snuck in was exactly how Cal did it in the final mission. Like, swim underwater. That damn
Yep.
panel's still there. He got in the same way Kenobi did, and
Yeah.
yeah, so they definitely take inspiration from the game, so hopefully they keep it going and they do it the reverse way too.
Fingers crossed. Fingers
Yeah.
crossed. Like, honestly, that would be peak because those games, like Jedi Survivor, I've played too many times to even
So much fun.
talk about. Like, I is so much fun. I like watching everything kind of span out across, friendships with Bode, and then
Ah, jerk.
oh, I was just like, oh, like anyways, that's another talk. But like to continue with that legacy of you can get the gamers involved, the people who watch the TV shows involved, and also the people who watch the movies. Like
Yeah.
you're making everyone happy, and you're kind of leading towards a more wholesome
Yeah,
fan base.
unified. Yeah, unified fan base.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
No. Heck yeah. So after Bad Batch is done, the next thing we got, which is literally next week, and it doesn't even feel like it's next week, but we're getting 6 episode Tales of the Empire on May the 4th. How excited for that are you?
Look, I tell you what, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 because General Grievous is angry,
Woo-hoo.
baby. Oh,
Yes.
General Grievous is scary. Look, I love that he's that whole mustache twirl, like the ha ha, look at
Yeah.
me. But you need him. Like I've got his figurine right here. Like the
Ooh,
the
that's the Black Series, the battle damage
Black
one, right?
Series. Man,
Yes.
I love Grievous. He is by far one of my favorite characters for design wise. Not
Yeah,
really
yeah.
character wise, but like design wise, he's so cool. And we
Yeah.
get to see him slaughtering at another angle all of the Night Sisters and the people of
Yeah.
Dathomir. Oh,
Yeah.
come on. And then
I
Giga Chad Thrawn?
yeah.
Come on. Oh,
Dude, I was shocked when I saw that trailer, and it was funny. I was at work, and like I was scrolling through Instagram, and I stopped on the Star Wars Instagram, and it just automatically started playing, and then it shows Thrawn talking, and I was like, "Is this the next episode of Bad Batch? Like, is this a spoiler?" But then I read the caption, and I'm like, "Oh no, this is something new." I stopped, and then I waited till I got home so I could react to it. But like, this came out of nowhere. Everyone's expecting Tales of the Jedi season 2. Everyone's speculating who's the Jedi or that's going to be in it. We were all wrong, and I'm glad they went this route. And Morgan Elsbeth, it's cool, right? It's not like Morgan's my favorite character, but
mm,
everyone that's surrounding her is going to be freaking awesome. Grievous, Night
yep,
Sisters. You're going to have Corvus. The episode from Mando is there. You're going to see how she got that little palace
yep.
there, which was
Yeah.
dope. And then seeing Barriss Offee, I lost my mind, bro. Like,
Dude.
this is something everybody has been waiting for. What the hell happened to Barriss? We all thought in the Ahsoka show, oh, maybe she's Marak. Maybe she's gonna pop up and fight Ahsoka. Or even in the Kenobi show, people thought maybe Barriss could show up. We've been
Yep.
waiting. She's training with the Grand Inquisitor, who looks freaking awesome in Clone Wars animation,
Yeah.
right? and then we see her at that scene at the end. You see Marak and then the other sixth brother or whatever his name is from the other tales, both of them there. And then you
Yeah.
see Vader come in, and then it's like
Oh,
I didn't think about it till after, but like what I am dying to see what Vader's reaction is when he walks around and sees Barriss Offee, because right away it's gonna trigger in his head, you're the reason Ahsoka left the order. You framed Ahsoka. I hate you. I'm Vader
yep.
now. Is he gonna kill her right away? Or is he gonna like let her be an inquisitor? I'm so intrigued to see like what he does.
Look, I think Anakin's still there.
Yeah.
Anakin is still inside of him. And I mean, if there's anything, the hatred that Anakin had towards was more Vader than anything. So you get the hatred of Anakin towards Barriss. Like, what we're going to see. Honestly, I don't think Vader's going to be happy with her. And I think that's going to banish her to the side. And we might see her in Ahsoka season 2.
I kind of hope that. I hope she survives. I hope somehow Thrawn recruits her, and whenever
Yep.
Ahsoka shows up on Dathomir eventually and sees Thrawn, Barriss is right there on his side, and she's just so
Yeah.
pissed. And another thing, I don't know if you caught it in the trailer, but I'm like 99.7% sure Luminara is in that trailer fighting the other Inquisitor, and you see
Yeah.
Barriss run up. So, like, are we gonna see Luminara get caught and maybe Barriss kills her? Because in Rebels, Luminara was in that prison, but it was her body that they used to lure out like Kanan and
Yeah.
Ezra. So, like, are we gonna see how she got caught, how the Empire got her body, and it's Barriss is the one that did it?
Dude, like I saw that on Instagram. I don't know if it was you who did it, but
Will Diamond Figs
Will,
will put it up.
by the way, Will is awesome. I love
Y-
Diamond Pig so much. He's so cool.
yes.
Um, and look, I see it. I see it 100%. Like if you can get everything kind of leading towards Rebels, then that
Yeah.
sorts that out there.
Yep.
But if you get to see Barriss kind of like actually take down a Jedi, not get bodied by Anakin like she
Yeah.
did before, I want to see
Yeah.
her kind of level up. Like in a
Yeah.
way, yeah, obviously, Luminara, sorry, like you're gonna have to go at some point, but like level up, take her down. Like, but don't just take her down. I mean, go to the dark side, punish her, be a little dark. I'm all for darker Star Wars. Like,
Yep.
kind of make it a little more creepy. Like that was freaky when they used her dead body in order to
Yes.
kind of signal other Jedi. That's terrifying.
It
Take that
is.
same path and make Barriss just basically terrorize her and torture her to the point that she gets locked in this thing, and
Yeah.
then she'll be used as a weapon later on. 100%.
Yeah. Another thing I hope we get maybe clarity on is who the hell is Marak? Because I feel like
He's a
he's an
part.
actual well, he was in Ahsoka, but like there is he an actual body in there? Does he die in there? And does Morgan in Tales of the Empire find his body, resurrect him, and bring him with her? And that's why in Ahsoka she has him. So that'd be
Yeah.
cool to see that. But the one thing that kind of blows my mind about the show is how it interconnects like 6 different shows, because it goes back to Clone Wars with Grievous and the
Mm.
Night Sisters. It goes to Rebels. It goes to Mandalorian, seeing Morgan Elsbeth in that place. It goes to Tales of the Jedi season 1 because you see the Inquisitor that Ahsoka killed, and then it goes to the Ahsoka show. So that's 5 different Star Wars things that this is interconnecting into one show.
Yeah.
That's just beautiful, and it's gonna make sense for everyone that's seen all of it because everything like connects, and that's so cool that they're doing that with this show.
Well, it's the possibility with animation. It's just with animation, anything is possible. And you have the ability with character, obviously, real life people aging, sometimes there's going to be limits.
Yep.
But with all this, you can actually intertwine everything perfectly.
Yeah.
And look, the one thing that I really do hope they bring in with that is in regards to Ahsoka, how the hell, maybe even if it's just a little bit towards the end,
Uh-huh.
how the hell did Thrawn get there with Ezra and then just like kind of
Oh,
figure each other out? And then now Ezra's using Force Fu around the place.
yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
want to know what caused them to split. Was it a mutual agreement? Was it a fight? Like, what
Yeah.
happened that went down? Now, obviously, Marok is going to be one of the coolest characters to be able to explore. I don't
Yeah.
know about that other guy. He had the awesome character design, like
Yeah.
that masked guy, but he got taken out by Ahsoka like it was nothing. Like,
One-handed. Yeah, like it was nothing. That
it was. Oh wait, that guy was there. Like it was
yeah.
easy. It
Yeah.
was easy. I don't really care about that guy. I think Marok, just because it will be Night Sister magic. I think he was a pretty powerful Inquisitor, which is why they
Yeah.
brought him back. I don't know how they're going to go about doing it,
Mhm.
but it could also be stuff that have happened later on, like they've brought his armor and his body to that foreign galaxy where they've got all of those like ancient Night Sisters.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
It's possible. I want to say I could have swore that Timothy Zahn, either he said he wanted to or he would. He wants to write another Thrawn book, and the book takes place between the end of Rebels and the beginning of Ahsoka, going over that because it's like a 9-year gap or whatever it is,
Yeah.
going over literally what you just said you wanted to see. Like he wants to write that book. I don't know if he is, but if that happens, that would be amazing because that literally would
Oh yeah.
answer all those questions. What happened when they got there with the Purgles? How does Thrawn all of a sudden have a castle full of dead Night Sisters? Like it would answer
Yeah.
so many
Yeah.
things, and they could even explore like the more man. When we saw Balin on that statue, and when I realized it
Dude.
was the Mortis, and then I saw the son, and then the daughter with her
Oh,
head gone, I lost it. I was like, "Holy shit!"
dude.
That moment blew my mind because I never thought they would go there in live action.
Oh, look. First of all, I mean, I think it was Ray Stevenson who played Balin Skull.
Yep.
Like, I mean, R.I.P. He had
Yes.
seriously one of the coolest characters we've seen for years.
Hands down.
And I wish they could have explored it more. Maybe animation, it's possible.
Yeah.
But like seeing the whole Mortis arc implemented into the live action, it was just like what's possible now? Where does it go? I mean, there
Yes.
could be Abeloth,
Yep.
sure. There could be Abeloth, yeah. But just in general of let's keep it the father, the daughter, and the son. Right? The daughter is
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And I mean, the son, I think, is the one that's calling to Balin.
Yeah.
I think that he's being deceived. Balin might think that he's going to the father, but the son actually takes over his essence in his body, and that's kind of a way to get rid of the character whilst also keeping the son. But it's so interesting to see how far they can go. And I
Yeah.
mean, they've already done. How the hell was Ahsoka pulled into the world between worlds?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
was it
Yeah.
Anakin? Was it the little owl that follows her?
Morai.
Like,
Yeah.
Morai, that's it. Like, what? Who was it? How did it happen? There's so much that we can go into.
Yeah. So that yeah, I'm right there with you because Ahsoka is the daughter because she died and took her essence. I kind of look as Anakin as the father. How
Yeah,
cool would it be if it was the son and they casted Sam Witwer live action to be the son? Since it would be a dream come true.
yep,
And the thing you mentioned about the world between worlds, I know for the longest, and I want to say there was an interview where Dave didn't answer the question if it is or isn't the world between world. Like he kind of left it open, like open that you could
yeah,
interpret it however you want. But Hayden at MegaCon here in Orlando, the convention, during his panel, he was talking about that. And one thing I caught, and most people didn't catch, Hayden said that, yeah, man. So Dave called me and he was talking about, episode 5 mainly of Ahsoka and about the world between worlds and about this and that. He specifically said that Dave Filoni specifically said to him the world between worlds. So like it is the world between worlds. Like that's from Hayden's mouth. That's from Filoni calling Hayden, talking about episode 5 and mentioning the world between worlds. So it's kind of like, you're
Good
right.
pick.
How did she get? Yeah, the minute he said that, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. That was never confirmed. Dave said that to you? Like, yeah, man. It
Good
was
pick,
crazy.
man.
Yeah, I caught that right away in the panel, and I was like, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they could do
Yeah.
so much. I cannot wait. And when it was so funny how Ahsoka season 2 got confirmed because they announced the Mando movie, and in that description, the last sentence was like, "Yeah, Dave Filoni will be helping with the Mando movie. He's also working on Ahsoka season 2." Like, that's it. It was such a random thing.
Yeah.
So I cannot
I
wait to
think it's
see.
because they're going to build up with this animation. I mean, look,
Yeah.
we've had all of the work that he was doing with animation build to get to Ahsoka. I think
Yeah.
he's just going to do the same thing when it comes to, like, hopefully there's more tales, like tales of whatever, to be able to
Everything.
kind of get to that point of Ahsoka season 2 picking up not right where it left off. I think it's like going to pick up when the ball's already rolling, and
Yeah.
then we're going to continue further than that. Like,
Yeah.
I think I'm so excited to see this next wave of Star Wars.
Yeah, and animation is where it's at. I don't think I've ever really been much disappointed with any of the animation. Like some of the
Mm,
live action stuff, it's kind of hit or miss, or there's things I like and don't like. But I want to say everything animation we've gotten the past few years has been like bangers, especially when Tales the first season dropped in the middle of Andor. Because like
yeah.
Andor wasn't my favorite. There were some things that I liked, but like it was kind of slow for me. I needed a little
Mm,
bit more Star Wars zhuzhed in there. But then we got
yeah.
Tales in the middle, and Tales was the most Star Wars that I've seen in forever. Like that
Yeah.
Dooku episode, the minute I saw him walking in the archives,
Oh,
I was like, is he about to do what happened in Attack of the Clones when Kenobi went to the Camino and the map was gone and it was erased? Like the like that episode now changes how I watch Attack of the Clones, because now every time I rewatch it, I
yep.
see Dooku erasing it, and that's beautiful that it can add to that classic today.
Oh, it made Dooku someone who is actually lovable and understandable. Like,
Yes.
he didn't leave for no reason. If Qui
Yep.
Gon was still around, he wouldn't have left because Qui Gon would have been able to show him the other
Yeah.
side of what the Jedi were
Yes.
like. But it actually gives Dooku depth. You know, Christopher Lee, he deserves more than that. But like,
Yeah.
to see that character flourish, you know, my best mate, his favorite character is Dooku. And watching him just kind of lose his mind when
Yeah.
Dooku was out there. And the fight with Yaddle, man.
Oh,
Oh, so
that
cool.
and that explains why she was in Phantom Menace, but all
Yep.
of a sudden, Attack of the Clones, she was gone.
Yep.
That and then Palpatine always in the background lurking, always so good, man.
And you know,
Oh,
it made me feel so bad for Dooku at the same time, because you
yeah.
realize that he was just doing what he thought was right, and he thought he was the next kind of like Sith, not Sith leader, but he thought he was an important part of a new
Yeah.
wave of the world. And then watching him being killed by Anakin, and the look that he made towards Palpatine, and you just go, now it's got another depth. And it's just like, bro, really? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah.
happened, dude? I thought I was
Yeah.
here. And then he just realizes that he was a pawn.
The
He
whole
was a
time.
pawn. And to get rid of his whole life, to sacrifice everything that he knew before, again, I'm a broken record when it comes to that kind of stuff, to sacrifice everything that he knew in order to start something
Yeah.
that he thought was going to be impactful and great. And now he's just like, oh, yeah, by the way, you were just like my next chess piece. Bye. Have a good one.
So
Dude.
wild. I hope every May the 4th they give us Tales of the something. Like that would
Yeah.
be dope if it became like an annual thing, because they could do
Yeah.
Tales of anything, Tales of the Sith, Tales of the Bounty Hunter, Tales of the Droids. Bro, where the hell's Gonki at? We haven't seen him in like 2-3
Dude.
episodes.
Oh my God, bro. I talked about this in all of my podcasts. I also put him in most of my thumbnails. Like, I, I love Gonk. Gonk droids are my favorite. So
Yes.
I naturally just became obsessed with Gonky. What happened to him? He was upside down in the water with his little feet going like this.
Yes.
Rickon saved
Yes.
him. Where is he? He's not on Book. He can't be. He has to be with the badge.
So if we don't get a gunky resolution in the finale, I am gonna riot and be so upset. Like
Tales of Gonky.
exactly. Man, oh, that's the one thing I'm gonna be looking out for the most is not Cody, not CX2, not Rex showing up. Where is this damn gonk droid at? Like,
Give me Gonky. Give me
yes.
Gonky. Yep, I'm 100% there with you. Look,
Uh,
Cody, everybody thinks Cody is Clone X, right?
yeah.
Forget about all that. I think Clone X is going to just be the face of what the batch has to overcome. He's a
Uh-huh.
regular clone, but he has all the powers.
Yeah.
But like something like that, you kind of see that's the stuff that we need finalized in this next episode.
Yeah.
We need this to be like we need to actually see how they created them and where they went. And if you could add a little Gonky into the side there, 100%,
Yeah,
make me more than
man.
happy.
Yes. So
Yeah.
after Tales of the Empire, up next in June, what was it, June 4th or something? Acolyte. We're getting
Yeah.
2 episodes of Acolyte. Um, what do you think of the Acolyte show?
Two things that I took away the most from was a Wookiee Jedi. Wookiee's my
Yes.
favorite species. And,
Yes.
and Gungi wasn't enough. I need more.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy that they've got a Wookiee there. Secondly, they made a comment saying that they were going to have a better lightsaber duel than Darth Maul.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty ballsy to say that.
Look, they're digging themselves into a hole if they're going to
Yeah.
start saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
Favorites from the fans. I think it should have been more a show, don't tell. Like, look,
Yeah.
we're going to do it, and this is why. But I'm excited to see a Sith perspective. I really am.
Yes.
There's a reason why the Jedi kind of fell later on, and they became so twisted in their ways.
Yep.
I want to see how the Sith can kind of slip past that, and how they just sweep everything under the rug. Like, you know, Ki Alamundi is just like, oh yeah, we haven't seen Sith for thousands of years. I mean, we have. We
Yeah.
saw it in the Acolyte. What is going on with all of this politics in the Jedi in order to be able to sweep this under the rug and pretend like nothing's ever a problem?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm super looking forward to it. I was sold like with one, the Wookiee Jedi. The whatever the first, I cannot wait for my reaction for whatever the first episode where he ignites his blade and he starts fighting. I'm gonna lose my mind and hear him, the Wookiee yell and him just doing Jedi stuff. It's gonna be so beautiful. But I loved in the trailer when that hand caught the red bladed saber, and then you see 8 Jedi rush towards this person
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
do like a force push and knock 8 Jedi. That is a strong ass mofo. I cannot wait to see who
Oh
this
yeah.
is. And like, technically, all these Jedi in the show are probably gonna die because there shouldn't be anybody that survives that sees the red blade, the Sith. So I'm looking forward to it for sure. And I love the Matrix. So Trinity with the saber is just beautiful. Like,
Oh
come
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna give it a chance for sure.
Oh
And
yeah. I'm excited.
yeah,
I'm
and
excited.
I'm glad we're getting 2 episodes that first day because they should be like juicy,
Yeah.
like 40, 45 minutes. So that's a good hour to hour and a half of live action Acolyte Star Wars 100 years before Phantom Menace. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure.
The one thing that I was really keen with that as well is it kind of reminded me of the Knights of the Old Republic trailers.
Oh
That was my
yeah,
biggest
yeah,
thing of like, I mean, you never really got that in the actual game, but the trailers were just like movies within themselves. And
mind
if you could
blowing.
just slightly replicate that in this to give that level of kind of like force foo, but
Yeah,
also just lightsaber dueling, because this is peak. This is peak Jedi. They should be well versed in every form, other than obviously the Sith. But
yeah,
like to be able to fight someone like this and then seeing the darkness of the Sith, because at the time, there's probably only a couple that are around because the
Yeah.
rule of two.
Yeah.
Like all of the bad side of the Force will be channeled into just two people.
Yeah.
This is going to be insane. They have
It
the chance to do something mind blowing.
They do, and if done right, it could be awesome. I just hope that they make sure they give, and they said they're including a lot of stuff from Legends supposedly, but they need to make sure that they reference and nod to all the original Sith, because they need to like reference like Bane and
Yep.
Revan and stuff like that. Or I think Tenebris is around at this time because Plagueis would be too young at this time. So like
Mm,
they have to reference some of those OG Sith Lords, right? But
yeah.
also little Yoda with his man bun better be walking around in the background of the Jedi Temple because he's
Yeah.
there. He's like
Yeah.
800 years old right there because he's like 900 and later on.
Yeah.
So Yoda has to be there at the Jedi Temple
Has to
teaching
be.
teaching younglings or something, like
Yeah.
for sure. So yeah,
Has to be.
it should be a fun time for sure.
Hell yeah.
Now, the last thing I got is the Mando movie. How do you feel about Mando being a movie? Because I don't know, or I don't think we're getting a season 4. I think it's just a movie now, potentially. But
Yeah.
how do you feel about the next Mando we get being the movie and being called Mandalorian and Grogu?
Okay. Look, first thing, I just hope they bring out another season to be able to kind of set him up, because that movie is just going to be it's going to be a nothing if
Yeah, right?
it's doing the same TV format of like the adventure of the week. Oh, by the way, we have to do this. Oh, and by the way, we have to do that in order to get
Yeah,
this and this and this. And you're kind of like hopping around the place in order to get to your final goal. Like it's gonna be a movie, sure, but it's just gonna be a nothing movie. You could do so much more with the character.
yeah,
um, Being called Mandalorian and Grogu, look, they call it that because Grogu is going to be the new wave of Star Wars, because he's the one that gets people who aren't fans into it. People buy Grogu shirts because it's cute. It's a cute little
yeah,
baby.
yeah, yeah.
So they're going to make him more important. I just hope we get to see more of a badass version of
Uh-huh.
Mando, and he can actually create his own squad, like a Delta Force,
Ooh,
create
okay.
his own squad of people in order to kind of like take down cells of the Empire, because he's not going to
Yeah.
be able to take down all of them. But I mean, he took down Moff Gideon. I don't think Moff Gideon's dead.
Yeah.
um, yeah, like he took down Moff Gideon with his own little cell of Mandalorians. If he can kind of continue along that path, that's awesome. But they need to actually make it movie format. That's the one thing that I'm terrified of, because movies don't translate well to TV shows. We saw that with Kenobi,
Yep.
and TV shows don't really go well with movies. Like the characters aren't built for it, so they have to be very careful, very very careful.
Do you think this movie is going to take place timeline wise after Mando season 3, or do you think it's going to be like earlier? Because like to me, I kind of would like to see a movie of maybe we see Grogu after Order 66 and how his journey from there to those pirates at the beginning of season 1. And it would be kind of cool to see Din in his early days as a bounty hunter getting his bearings and becoming the badass that he is. What if it was like a reverse origin story of both of them, and then maybe towards the end it kind of jumps to like where season 3 ends, like is going to continue.
I'd love to see that, mainly because it's easier to do as a movie,
Yeah.
because you've already got the outside content, and it could kind of like fill in. You don't have to create stuff for it, because I think they just water things down when they need to create extra with a
Yeah.
character that's so simple. Mando is so simple. He's going to just do the job and he's done with it, and he's going to go to the next one. So I'd love to see that. I think if they did do that, and maybe they could set the movie for after, with flashbacks from important things, like
Yeah.
important moments in their life. You get to see Din training as a kid. It's like those moments where you see them fighting, and he's got a lightsaber and he goes, bang, and then the moment he hits his head, it's like a Beskar spear hits his head when he was a kid, and then he goes through the training
Ooh.
of that, and then
Yeah,
they kind
yeah.
of make their way and they figure out like, oh, the stuff that he did in his training earlier on is able to help him in this time, you know, or
Yeah.
maybe even if the movie's going to be how do we take down Thrawn, you know, is it going to be an
Mm.
Avengers style? We've got Ahsoka and we've got Mando and we've got Bo-Katan, all that kind of stuff, all joining together. So many different paths, but I would love it. You're
Ooh.
right. I would love it if they could do it a little bit earlier. Like actually just give us some more origin
Yeah.
to create a good movie if you're planning on doing more. Like we don't know if it's going to be a Soul movie or if they're going to continue because they planned Solo to be another trilogy, right?
Well, I don't know about a trilogy, but I know a lot of people want Solo too because the way it ended, Darth
Oh
Maul is
yeah.
telling Kira, "Hey, come to Dathomir. We're gonna train together." Everybody wants to see that. So, but one thing you just said right now, I didn't think of. Like, what if it's like we're trying to build to fight Thrawn? What if it is a movie like that where it's like Mando finds out about Thrawn and he's just trying to build a team up? And then what if like the movie is he finds out that Ahsoka's stuck in a far galaxy and he has to figure out a way to potentially get over there? Like, what if the movie is him going over there trying to get Ahsoka and Sabine and bring them back to our
Yeah.
galaxy? That way, when Filoni's movie starts, you're gonna have everyone in the main galaxy. You're gonna have Luke and Ezra hanging out with Zeb and Hera, and like a bunch of just oh man, there's so much potential. I just can't wait to see like what they do and where they take everything.
100%. Like you actually have the chance to make an all-time movie. An all-time kind of like Avengers style
Yeah,
of like if that is the case of bringing everyone in to fight the big bad, you know, the enemy is of my enemy is my friend. Maybe Din could create his own crew of bounty hunters, kind of
Boba.
like Darth Vader had with Boba, and all of, you know, Dengar and IG and all that kind of crew, right?
Yeah,
Maybe, I mean, Boba did say at the end of Boba Fett, he's like, look, I love it that I've kind of taken Mos Espa, but I don't deserve this. I'm not right for this role.
yep,
I need to go back to what I
yeah.
know best. And we need badass Boba,
I
especially with
know.
Tamira Morrison. I love that
Yes.
they have the Tuscan gaffy stick, right? I love that gaffy stick and adding that in, you
Yep.
know, that final blow. It's that extra character development that he needed in order to take out Cad Bane, who's
Yeah.
not actually dead, I don't think.
Nah, he's not dead. No way.
But in order to take him out, he had to have that character development. So now we've got like a fully developed Boba
Yeah.
with a fully developed Mando and a developing Grogu. You know, he
Yeah.
worked with Luke to kind of figure out stuff.
For like
And then
10
you've got
minutes.
10 minutes. They should not have brought it back. They should
Way
not
too
have
soon.
brought Grogu. Oh
Way
my
too soon.
god.
Way too soon,
Give
man.
give Mando the time alone to realize that he can't be alone.
Yeah.
Like Mando lost everything to save Grogu and put him into his true life, and then he's just completely reversed everything. Like it meant nothing that he did that. Now his life is just a waste. Maybe explore that more.
Yeah.
Explore what the hell. Like I love this kid, and I gave this kid up. I don't know if I did the right decision. That's what season 3 should have been more of. It should have been like, God, I would have been so much better if Grogu helped in this situation or in this situation. And
Yep.
then building up towards the movie, it's like they're back together and they can do shit. And it's like they're actually a powerful duo.
Yeah. What if the Mando movie is like their version of Infinity War and Filoni's movie is like Endgame? That just would be crazy. But like
Pretty wild.
oh, I know. Or is it like this movie? It's its own thing, and maybe it's gonna set up Dave's stuff. And what if Dave's movie is the beginning of like his own Heir to the Empire trilogy movie? Because I would love for Dave to have a trilogy. That way,
Mm,
take your time. Every 3 years, we know we're getting another Dave movie, just like back when the prequels dropped, like '99 Phantom Menace.
yep.
Look forward to 2002 Attack of the Clones, 2005. So I want something to look forward to because after these 2 movies, we don't know what the hell we're getting. So I like having
100%.
stuff in the distance I can look forward to, even if it's 3, 4 years out, you know?
100%. But I hope they do a finisher of characters. Like
Mhm.
I do think Mando's going to die in the Mando and Grogu movie. I mean,
Oh.
I think everyone has seen the meme, or not really a meme, but the photo of Grogu holding the helmet and he's got the
Oh.
Mando pauldrons on and, he's with the mythosaur and everything. And he's just true Mandalorian and he's looking and he's talking to his Jedi and he's saying, this is the way, right?
Yeah.
We need to leave an impact on Grogu and finish a character that is getting a bit worn out. He's getting
Yeah.
old. He's not doing the same kind of stuff that he was doing in the first season. Like
Yeah.
he has taken on. I mean, he's bitten a lot more than he can chew.
Yeah.
Maybe if he dies in this next one, give him a warrior's death.
Yeah.
Pass on the legacy of his Mandalorian life to Grogu. Continue that. Maybe we get to see Grogu with Rey later on, and
Yeah.
Grogu's helping Rey in order to create her new Jedi Order.
Yeah.
And we kind of see the legacy of characters because they don't. The problem is a lot of the time with Filoni stuff is he doesn't finish things well. Obviously, Clone Wars season 7. Sorry, that is the best finisher ever, right?
Yeah.
Best.
Yep.
But
Yep.
like Ahsoka kind of ended like nothing.
Yeah.
Characters aren't dying. Maul is my second favorite character alongside Darth Vader, but like he shouldn't be alive this long. Kill off characters, make their death impactful, like Tech. If Tech
Mm.
stayed dead, it has been so impactful for them.
Yeah.
They're like, maybe that mission's not worth it because we could lose another.
Yeah.
It's just that extra level of fear that you need. And if Grogu goes, you know what, I've taken my Mandalorian path, and I am a Mandalorian like my father Din Djarin. I am of
Before me.
clan. Yeah, right. It's like I am clan. I'm Clan Din,
Yeah.
and then you just go like onto Luke again, or maybe onto
Oh.
Rey or Ahsoka or whatever as a fully fledged Jedi. Like it would be so cool. Maybe that's where the movie could go. Maybe
Yeah.
that's kind of like we see Mando die in the first couple of scenes, and then
Damn.
Grogu continues. Imagine the shock of that. Like it's the Mandalorian and Grogu, and the next thing you know, we're like, and it's just like they're walking down an alleyway, and there's like bang, and it's just like, what the what character. And then Grogu has to kind of go down his own path to create his
Yeah.
character, to
Yeah.
flesh him out more.
Yeah, I can see something like that. Plus, Pedro is the busiest dude in the freaking world. He's about to be Mr. Fantastic, Last of Us 2. This dude is like everywhere. So,
Yeah,
yeah, man, I can see something
it
like
would
that
make sense.
happening. Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I mean, you know what I really hated about
What?
season 3 was
Hmm.
that all the rumors going around that Pedro didn't want to be the Mandalorian. He made one comment about Bo Katan. He's like, Bo Katan can 100% take the lead of the show because she's a Mandalorian. She's important.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of it was misconstrued and it was turned into, oh, well, he doesn't want to be the Mandalorian anymore. Well, I don't want to watch him. And a lot of people kind of lost their interest with that. Whereas I think
Yeah.
everyone just took it the wrong way of like, he's saying, I can't hold this torch forever. I need to pass on the torch of life to the next person. Is
Yeah.
that Bo Katan? Is that Grogu? Who knows? I think the death of Mando could be so impactful to set up Grogu as an important character. I'm not even the biggest Grogu fan. I am a Mandalorian fan. I don't want to see him die. But if he can have a warrior's death, if he can have a warrior's death and actually succeed and continue passing his legacy on to Grogu, his
Yeah.
son,
Yeah.
that's Star
Nah.
Wars, baby.
Yeah, man. I'm right there with you, man. So that's the last thing that I have. Do you have so let us know what you have coming up next on your channel that the people could look forward to.
Oh man, I have got my next video coming out, podcast. That is Saturday, 7 p.m. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm also doing an unboxing and painting of 2 figurines. I've
Ooh.
got the Phase 1 and Phase 2 Clone Trooper from the Vintage Collection, the most recent drop. That's the Andor and also the Attack of the Clones one.
Nice.
And I'm going to paint those and create my own custom Clone Trooper. So that's going to be
Awesome.
another little video that's on the way. I don't know how long that's going to take to do. Hopefully not too long. But
Yeah.
yeah, just my podcast every week, man.
Awesome. So again, man, thank you for your time coming on. It was a blast.
Thank you so much. No, thank you for having me. This has been awesome.
No, of course. And you guys watching, be sure subscribe to his channel, link down in the description. But that's going to be it for this episode of Sith Talk, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.